Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we ran another intel mission that was really short, and this time we're going to do something a little different. Instead of running more intel, because I'll admit they get kind of boring, there's Lacaon Maioris, I believe, is this Warzone thing that I've done before, but I haven't really touched on much. Chaos Invasion Fleet has arrived in orbit. Imperial Void ships have responded by establishing a strong defensive formation, but not before a large Chaos force succeeded in boarding the key star fort. The first stage of this invasion revolves around the control of this critical asset that is protecting the central planet. It's a bit quite underleveled, but let's go through it.
The sweet stench of imminent death. The craving for bloodshed before the battle. I wish I could be there with my battle brothers. Take the enemy head on, lay waste to their strongholds, and show no mercy.
At your command.
Yeah, I forgot this was in the game. I don't even remember when this first came into existence. I remember playing a bit of it on a side character and then just kind of forgetting about it. But it's interesting. And I know there's a good amount to it. Probably do a few of these, few intel kind of scattered throughout. Mix it up a little bit. I mean, this is level 50 stuff, so this is easy to breeze through, considering I'm 20 levels over it. There's always a chance I get some good loot, so it's always worth doing. Wish I could get my hands on an Exodus rifle, but I just have not been lucky enough. Just lay the beam down and flatten everybody. It'd be kind of cool to introduce stuff like this more, where it's almost a mini campaign to fight through and have different enemies kind of randomly chosen.
The fortified zone is finally ours. Blessed be the God Emperor. Capture the next one.
Considering every faction has effectively units for every situation, heavies, vehicles, all that stuff, you could really kind of cut and paste the same mission structure or same kind of design ideas and just swap factions out and occasionally change little things here or there. Have a random name generator for guys so you're not fighting like the same named boss a million times. You could easily do something like this. It would replace the random assignments, I think, or it could honestly just kind of augment the priority assignment stuff. And I think it'd be fine, because the priority assignments do get a little old. They're a little too short, a little too simple.
This fortified zone is finally ours. Blessed be the God Emperor. Capture the next one.
I wonder if I can... I should go through my perks and see, because I think I might have a perk I can afford to switch out for the sniping perk, because I really like having that one. It's just too useful to give up for too long. Especially when it comes to a bunch of kind of trash mobs like this. But then again, I don't know. After a while, it does kind of run its course and get a little weak. But that might also be because I'm using, the needle rifle, and it's not exactly a high burst damage weapon. Oh, I just remembered Diablo 2 Remastered had come out. I remember seeing a bunch of people having problems with it. The online mode being really, the servers being trash. People losing levels. Some people said that the offline mode isn't really an offline mode. It just creates a dump file on your computer while still having to connect to the internet in some capacity. I just remember seeing a lot of stuff that said it was pretty bad, and I'm not too surprised. As much as I want to give credit to Vicarious Visions, they do a decent job with, kind of remastering this stuff. It's still a company under Activision Blizzard.
Overran and butchered without mercy.
They haven't really been
The strong point is ours.
bringing their A game as of late. I mean, come on, the guys behind Starcraft, a bunch of the Starcraft team just up and left so they can make their own studio because they wanted to make stuff. Have you ever heard of a game studio losing people because they're not creating? I've never heard of a studio being like, yeah, we're not working and that's a problem. Granted, also, StarCraft is so bland that it's not even funny. I highly doubt even if the team was allowed to make stuff, Blizzard would let them change up the formula too much. That game is so locked in its ways that it's kinda sad. I think that franchise has kinda doomed itself to being forgotten.
Today is a good day.
Ooh. Oh, so it's the same description. Okay.
Sensory stimuli link has been established. Subject in severe distress identified. Hostiles are attempting forced entry to the vault where subject is located. Vault integrity compromised. Termination is imminent without inquisitorial assistance.
I figure I should probably explain myself a bit when I say that, StarCraft is kind of dooming itself a bit. When you look at StarCraft now and Brood War, the only real differences are graphics and a couple unit choices. In competitive play, if you are ever so bored that you actually bother watching competitive StarCraft, one, I say don't, because if you watch from the player perspective, I've seen some of these guys, I've said it before, they sit there with 8 Guerrillian actions per minute, but they just rapid fire 2 buttons, switching camera views, and it just makes me want to hurl. Specifically on the people doing it because it's annoying.
Reloading.
How good are you really when you're just rapid firing between every one of your workers who are all standing around the same crystal deposit? But so these guys do stuff like that, but when you play, if you play Protoss, you are reggy Protoss. Standard, we need to build more pylons, generic ass Protoss. And the problem is, when you look at some of the other multiplayer modes, you can play as like Artanis, you can pick some other dudes, I can't remember their names. It's irrelevant to the situation, but you know what I'm getting at. Just like when you play as the Zerg, you can play as Dahaka, you can play as
The subject is now in Inquisitorial
Stukov,
custody.
you can play as
Relocate to the
all these different
extraction
people. And you play as Kerrigan, you play as Abathur, and Zagara, I think? But in the end, each one plays different. They have different unit choices. Some are better at air, some are trash at air. Stukov just can literally zerg the hell out of you with infected Terrans. And they play differently. But last I checked, none of that's in competitive. So you're left with just the same strats, the same unit comps, the same everything. And it's like, of course this game's gonna get bland. Of course only the Korean scene is still alive. Because there's nothing new. Some of the same tricks from Brood War still work, for God's sake. It's terrible. I mean, I'd like to see them go more the Company of Heroes route, and units can take cover and actually use buildings and stuff. You know, really make fights interesting. But I don't know if they would ever go that route. Short of that, though, they could at least allow these multiplayer, like, faction leaders to be an option.
Loading! All main objectives are met. The asset is
Bruh.
safe. Mission complete. Tactical noosphere network has been taken offline. End of log.
Okay, I get it. I'm 20 levels over, but that was kind of goofy. Walk through 2 hallways, kill like half a dozen guys, and the game's like, yep, congratulations, you win. But continuing with my point, the game is just stagnated so terribly. And once again, I feel like it's Blizzard just kind of resting on their laurels. But I've heard a lot of stuff from former employees saying like, yeah, we've wanted to do stuff and they just scrap projects. And that has to be just, 1, the most agitating thing ever, and 2, just the stupidest thing. Especially with like RTS games. Love 'em or hate 'em, Blizzard really helped bring RTS games up. Yeah, you had Age of Empires. Age of Empires still has a competitive scene, but Starcraft got big and then just stopped. And kind of I feel like the RTS genre went with it. And I think it's because with no big game selling tons of copies, nobody really wanted to invest in it. And as a result, it started just falling, and then we had, Dawn of War 3, which sure as hell didn't help the RTS genre. Nobody was looking at that going, ooh man, that game flopped terribly, we should make an RTS. I can't imagine anybody was thinking that, so they kind of doomed themselves and the entire genre. What do we get? Ooh, Archaeotech Relic Shard. Man, this is paying out better than the Intel missions. That's fancy. Complete missions without using... Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.